We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
A terrorist safe haven, a Medicare data breach, private citizens make a historic spacewalk, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. 3 years since the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan and 23 years since the 9/11 terror attacks that led to the U.S. invasion, Afghanistan finds itself in a worse position now than it was on that fateful day. This country has become once again a safe haven for terrorism. It will become a battlefield once again. Afghan National Resistance Front leader Ahmad Massoud said in a rare interview, according to Massoud, the threat emanating from Afghanistan is much greater today than it was on 9/11, and the U.S. failed to achieve its number one objective of rooting out terrorists when it hastily pulled out of Afghanistan in August 2021. The threat of terrorism from Afghanistan has spread from the U.S. to Europe and recently to Russia. It is just a matter of time, Massoud fears, for it to reach America's shores again. I know for a fact the time will come, Massoud said. The widow of New York City Fire Department Assistant Chief Gerard Barbara, killed on 9/11, had sharp words for the Biden administration during a commemoration ceremony at Ground Zero in Manhattan Wednesday. It is outrageous that our government would ever entertain the thought of granting the terrorists a plea deal, Barbara's wife, identified as Joanne by the 9/11 Memorial and Museum's website, said. If not for the outcry of the 9/11 community, who knows what might have transpired? It has been 23 years, and the families deserve justice and accountability. She continued, the elected officials here today show their respect and reverence to the families on September 11th, or in our president's words, do 9/11. Quite a flippant remark, but please remember that the September 11th families live it every day, not just on the anniversary. In conclusion, may God bless those battling post-September 11th illnesses, our first responders in the military here and abroad. May God bless America and never forget. Barbara was referring to President Biden's remark from Tuesday in which he told reporters about his plans to attend the 9/11 ceremony in New York City on Wednesday. Biden had already left Ground Zero prior to Barbara's remarks. Nearly 1 million Medicare beneficiaries have recently learned that their personal information may have been compromised in a data breach last year. This incident comes on the heels of another incident and highlights the ongoing challenge in protecting sensitive healthcare data and the importance of staying vigilant about your personal information. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services is notifying 946,801 Medicare beneficiaries that their personal data may have been exposed due to a security vulnerability in the Move It file transfer software used by Wisconsin Physicians Service Insurance Corp., a CMS contractor. On July 8, 2024, Wisconsin Physicians Service Insurance Corp. Informed CMS about a cybersecurity incident involving Move It, a file transfer software. This incident compromised files containing protected health information, including Medicare claims data and other personally identifiable information. The vulnerability in the Move It software allowed unauthorized access to personal information between May 27th and May 31st, 2023. Progress Software, the developer of Move It, discovered and publicly disclosed this vulnerability on May 31st, 2023. promptly releasing a software patch to address the issue. Representative Jerry Nadler is under fire after he appeared to close his eyes and lower his head during congressional testimony on the impacts of migrant crime on victims' families Tuesday, prompting criticism that leading Democrats are not taking the issue seriously and have disrespected those in mourning. Representatives Chip Roy and Dan Bishop skewered the ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee after the incident had people in the audience fuming. The photo, with a box of tissues in the foreground, also shows an aide next to Nadler looking at his cell phone as mothers who lost their daughters to suspected foreign rapists and killers shared their traumatic stories of loss with the committee. Finally, private citizen astronauts traveling with SpaceX completed the first commercial spacewalk, pushing new boundaries for the Elon Musk-led company SpaceX. SpaceX kicked off the spacewalk, a centerpiece on the privately funded Polaris Dawn spaceflight, shortly after 6 a.m. Thursday, when oxygen began flowing inside the astronauts' SpaceX-developed suits. After leak checks and boosting the pressure of the suits, a company live stream showed Jared Isaacman, a tech industry billionaire, leaving the SpaceX Crew Dragon vehicle through its hatch, conducting a series of mobility tests and coming back inside around 7 a.m. Eastern Time. The entire spacecraft was exposed to the vacuum of space. That's the raw naked truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.